I don't even know where do we begin.
Just let it happen, man.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Real song. Yeah, I just ate a little bit of a mushroom cap, some kind
You ate one?
of like chewing, just a tiny piece.
Where's mine?
You want? Yeah.
Are you chewing it
want
right
some?
now?
Yeah, it's kind of still.
I've got to
like,
go over
so
to.
I'm like, oh. Well, I mean, it's only a tiny
Nah, I don't
tiny
want
bit.
one.
Okay, for sure.
I'm just-
Yeah, but it's nice, like a little. It's like a little Vyvanse or something. It gives you just a little.
Where do you get it? Where'd you
Little
get them?
energy.
I mean, why don't you tell?
Where'd you get them?
let's
Yeah,
put 'em
I'll
on-
tell you exactly the address,
What's his name?
Social Security. Yeah, I mean
Or her.
Austin. It's not.
It's not hard.
It is a her actually.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah. Okay, you know who it is.
I'm just.
You know.
I actually do. She's older.
Yeah. I don't think it's too big.
Nobody knows her
That's
real
not
name.
that wild of a guess, though. A lot of mushroom dealers are
Yeah,
old
older.
ladies, like old hippies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
there's not a bunch of young chicks like I'm in the
Slanging
mushroom game.
mushrooms. I'm in the mushroom game. What y'all know about
I
that?
love it. Yeah,
That's true. They're just all eating them and going topless.
and yeah, Instagram. And
Maybe that's just my own world.
our
My-
perception of whatever
My chosen perception. though.
chosen.
My world is full of topless hippies on mushrooms. Maybe that's just my college experience.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of was for a little bit.
I
For
do
a brief
remember.
moment, maybe just a couple of hours or one day,
Yeah.
but for at least a brief moment.
Do remember a few parties that had a lot of nudity and hippies.
In drum circles,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and didgeridoos.
Yeah. No, yeah. I saw a
thinking-
didgeridoo or two.
I'm thinking owl porn is the next didgeridoo. You ever seen those?
No, what is it?
They're like the giant horns you see that like hit the bottom of the ground.
Oh yeah.
There's people in the Alps
In the
playing
Alps,
them.
yeah.
That's what I
Like,
want
cause an
in this
avalanche.
house, and just like play it as loud as I can and wake my roommates up.
I would love a huge
Just-
one that just takes up your house.
Yeah, just go next
Takes up a
football
room.
game or soccer game, take it with you.
It could even like go out a window and be in the yard.
Yeah, right here it's perfect. Just good morning.
Oh,
I'm going to play a song for you on the
you
Alp
just
horn.
always have a what's it
Enricola,
called?
please take
an
a
owl
Ricola. Huh?
an owl horn. What did you call it?
Alp horn.
Alk.
Like ALP, like
Alp.
the Swiss
Oh,
Alps.
it's like a real Alp,
horn.
like the Alps.
Yeah.
Like you just have a
And they
permanent
play it.
Alp horn that's like coming through your
Yeah.
little kitchen window. Always, it just sits there. It's so heavy you can't
Kids,
move it.
breakfast is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much better than a triangle. Dinner's ready, y'all.
Yeah.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
It's much. It's.
We need to
uh,
bring that back.
the dinner triangle.
Yeah, the dinner
I
triangle.
thought about branding
funny.
my delivery service after that when I first started,
Makes sense.
and then I didn't because I was like, that's old school.
It's pretty, but it's Western. I get what
It
you're
is
going
West,
for.
yeah.
And it makes me think of like, did you ever go?
I even thought about like dinner bell delivery and stuff like that. Like
Oh, cool.
ring the dinner bell. I'm a marketing genius.
Yeah. I mean,
There was doorbell delivery.
I feel
and they were
like
pretty good.
I have heard, like Taco Bell kind of, I guess, did that with the bell.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a
Right?
story behind Taco Bell.
I'm sure.
What
I
bell
mean,
is this?
It's a badass company. I'm sure they have a great.
Where's that bell? Just like a mission bell, maybe any mission bell.
Right. But
A
yeah,
mission
but
bell? That's
a
kind of
mission
hardcore.
bell. That's
Maybe
a
they'll
great
have to get
song,
rid of
too.
their logo eventually.
Yeah, it's not gonna be appropriate.
I'm about to look it up. Where's the Taco Bell? Where is the bell from Taco Bell come from?
Yeah, we need a Jamie. I can see more and more why every show has, some guy
Yeah, dude.
that's just ready on hand.
Oh, he started. Oh, it's Glenn Bell. That's his name.
Alexander Glenn. Graham Bell?
No, Glenn Bell
Beck?
founded.
Dude, Glenn Beck.
He
rules.
started Bell's Drive-In and Taco Tia, and then he made Taco Bell.
Whatever happened to
So
Taco
it's not a
Tia.
Bell. It's just his name. I would have made up a cooler story if I was them.
Hey, you have to
'Cause I'm a
you have to
marketing
embellish
genius.
a bit.
Remember?
Come on. Yeah. For sure, man. Ring the bell, motherfuckers.
Let me put away my stupid phone because
Okay.
it's great for the podcast. Really helps us generate great content on here.
Yeah.
If you have your phone open.
It's gonna stay over here. Don't worry. I'm not addicted to my phone too much.
Okay, so here we go.
I am in a way, but
I had deleted Facebook, right? I just had
Nice.
deleted the not like my profile. I just deleted the app because I didn't want to have the app.
yeah.
And then I found myself like a true
searching
addict
on a web
right?
browser.
Like a
That's
true.
what I used to do.
I would do that, and then I got kicked out, or I got logged out, and I couldn't get logged back in. So currently, I can't log in to my Facebook anywhere, which is fine. But then, like a true freaking addict, I downloaded Reddit. I don't know how I found my way to a new news feed, and downloaded Reddit, and I started scrolling Reddit for months probably. And then I recently was like, you know what? This is garbage too. All this is garbage. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say garbage, I just mean it won't serve me after the fact. It serves me for that one instant second, and then that's the only place it'll ever serve my life ever.
Yes.
Ever. And so I deleted it, and
oh, nice.
so I don't have any news feed. That's the thing I tried to get out of my life was the news feed. I was like, you know what? Fuck the news feed. And that feature, man, fuck that. I want to be more intentional about what content I put in my brain. I don't want to just go to a feed and say, content me, please. Because then isn't that
Big time.
welcoming brainwashing?
Yes.
Don't you think
it's pretty scary?
Don't you think that someone could just tap into those and be like, all right, let's brainwash everyone to think this and
Yes.
know what memes to post? Just to change everyone's mind and shame them into the public opinion is this. So gravitate here and everyone believes that, right? You could destroy
it's
worldviews like
it's
that.
filth, man. I mean,
It's filth. Yeah, I went way too far with that, but
no. I was thinking along the same lines
what
as
up,
you.
Cade?
We got Cade in the house here.
Cade in the house.
Bo's in the house.
I wish he
Papa
was.
John's.
There's a day of reckoning coming.
There's day of reckoning.
Is that what he said?
Well, no, his son's name is Bo.
I think we should have made a conspiracy theory that Papa John is behind that, and we could have
Behind
cited
Corona.
He could, behind Corona. We could
Oh,
have
yeah,
cited
yeah.
him saying this is a direct threat.
Yeah.
He's all sweaty. He's got it already.
I used my famous ingredients to concoct this terrible disease.
My favorite.
After I've been wronged.
I've been wrong. Whoa, have you seen Tread?
Tread. It has been a long time. I remember that movie being pretty killer, though.
It's a
I remember
documentary.
liking it. Okay, yeah. Now I know the guy that he was like, the good old boys stop me.
Yeah.
from,
I haven't finished
my
it.
pipe going. Okay.
My cousins
Dude,
were telling me to watch it for
dude.
sure, and so I've only
keep
got.
on watching.
Yeah.
It starts off very slow.
I know he armors a goddamn
Yeah,
backhoe
but
and
just-
destroys the town.
Yeah.
So
It's
pretty.
I enjoyed it.
I was enthralled by. They were telling me
Yeah.
about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta watch that one.
Oh,
He just
Check it out.
gets fed up and just.
it's really
He's like
funny, dude.
He's like the kid who gets fed up and just knocks over everyone's Legos. It's so
Yeah,
hilarious.
he destroys the sandcastle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a part of this building.
Yes, people don't realize that they could do that, Or he just
Sure.
said, oh, you know what? I will knock over everyone's blocks. He just
Yeah. That's what's
I thought that was so hilarious. He was
Yeah.
still able to do the only but don't you know sometimes that's the only way to win as a kid?
there's an
Just
African proverb that says The child not embraced by his village will burn it down to feel the warmth.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Like, it is crazy. Like,
That's exactly what happened to that guy.
yeah, yeah,
mean,
exactly. The community he didn't fit
Yeah.
quite in for whatever reason. We don't know exactly what reasons.
Nice quote drop
But-
there, my man. I think
Yeah.
you got it perfect too.
I've been watching some documentaries about investigation tapes of the police investigating people for like, you know, attempted murder and like all these really
it's all
heinous
people
charges.
that have been like barred from society,
Yeah.
basically just
Yeah.
not accepted by the community.
Yeah, so I've seen some comments that have like some actually decent stuff to say about why someone was in a position to like do something so horrible.
Yeah. So Duncan Trussell was on Rogan recently, right?
Yeah,
Did you see that one? I love
astronaut
Duncan.
suit. So yeah, he is really what got me into the podcast like early on.
Really?
Like he was one of the first guests I saw. Like, and I was like, this dude is on a whole nother level.
Duncan
of
is
thinking.
right.
I was like, all right, like that's really what kept me thinking. Like, oh, this show isn't just absolutely awful. Like they have
Yeah.
some interesting guests, and that led me,
For sure.
down the rabbit hole basically.
Yeah,
And
dude.
he's like from the South,
Yeah.
like super open guy, had a lot of crazy experiences. So
Yeah. And he's very out there, right? And interesting. He's
Yeah.
just interesting as shit. I mean, I love Midnight Gospel. That's kind of where I started
Yeah, dude.
recognizing just who he was. And
Yeah.
I've seen that he's on different. He's got a lot of things he's done. I mean, I don't really know his work other than that and a few Rogan podcasts, but just hearing him talk, I'm like, oh, that's a brilliant mind. You know what I mean? You can just tell.
absolutely, yeah. He's always impressing. Every like thing I'll watch, he'll say at least one, at least one, two things. I'm just
And a
like,
very
"Jeez,
unique-
what
yeah.
did you just?
He
It made
brought
so
up-
much sense. He makes all the sense. whenever-
Yeah,
trying to
they
get
boil
through.
it down. Rogan's good at that too. He's got he's different than Duncan, right? Obviously, very far. It's great to actually watch them connect because I think Rogan's interesting to me because he can think very, very deeply, but it's like he's also still on the surface. It's just a
Yes.
strange. I don't even know how to explain it, but
No, I
he
know
can follow
exactly
the
what-
deepest
you
motherfuckers
mean.
out there, like Duncan, right? And be just vibing with them perfect. But he doesn't seem like he's on the same level as Duncan, right? It's weird.
Yes, but
He's-
that's why
he's brilliant.
Joe Rogan appeals to so many
Right,
people.
it's great,
'Cause that's
right.
where a lot of people sit. Is they're just like
That's right.
on the surface, but they know
That's right.
there's something deeper.
That's
They're
right.
just not in it.
He's more of more people can relate to Rogan.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the
the
guy.
guy you want to have a beer with
He's
or
the guy.
smoke a joint with because he's not too threatening. Obviously he's badass, all that stuff, but
Yeah.
sometimes you'll talk to someone who's just clearly way smarter than you, and you're just like, okay, all I can do is just sit here and take it in.
So
And
Duncan's
it's a little harder to talk to them, maybe, but he doesn't come off that way at
yeah.
all.
And he had brought up he had dropped some quote about how like they were talking about the isms and how things don't matter unless he said none of that matters, like all of this societal theory, right, doesn't really matter if you can't find like peace and harmony in your home, because like your household is the pixel, right, of the society. It's the single unit, and that just got me thinking about community in general. And you talk about Tread and that guy who gets barred by his own community,
Right.
and he can't find happiness in his household, because the household like does have a community aspect to it, right? It has an ingredient there that you're not going to find harmony in your household unless you can like go out into the community and come back in, right? But
Exactly.
so anyway, I just think leave the focus for humanity has to get back into community and what community is,
Yeah,
because we
absolutely.
could all be a lot happier without any more money. if we just
Yeah.
understood
With
and were
true
willing to
altruism.
participate in the community in a way that was
Yeah.
like fun and wholesome, right? I just think about like maybe it's because I was raised in small, tiny towns,
Yeah.
and I think of the town getting together for high school footballs and fireworks shows and like people just kind of being friendly with each other and playing their part in all the
Yeah.
different things, a little bit of volunteering.
Yeah, I think, small towns, I think, could make a comeback in the U.S. in general because maybe all these big cities just aren't going to work out for everybody.
Let's make one.
I love it.
You just go
Let's make one.
plot, say I'm the mayor.
Here's
our
yeah,
Department
I mean,
of Justice. What do you start with? What's the first thing?
I don't know. I mean,
A person. Person is there.
we decide who's there.
No,
Only
anyone
we
can move
decide
in.
who comes in.
You just buy the biggest lot, or you raise money. You just raise money to build a town, like it's a startup. That shit would be fucking hilarious. Like raise it. Oh, what are you founding? A fucking city. What do you mean? This isn't a business. It is a business, but it's a city.
It's a people farm.
How do cities make money? Oh my God. We're about to change the world. People are going to just start raising money to build cities. Japan's going to own like 5 cities in America just through through SoftBank. And they're going to be fuck yeah, that's appealing. You're going to build a city for me? Here's $5 million. Go build it up. And we'll have, holy shit.
We'll have a totalitarian little town.
I mean, you gotta be governed by the state and federal laws, but
yeah.
But anyone
you gotta
can
have the checks
start
and
building a
balances
city.
there.
You could build a city. If
Yeah.
you build it, they will come. That's what they say,
Slab
right?
City. Someone did once say
I don't
that.
think that's dreaming too big.
No. No.
No.
Easy, man.
I'll just call it my friends
You
at
could dream.
SoftBank.
You could dream bigger. That's the beauty. Call it what?
I said I just call up my friends at SoftBank. It'll
SoftBank.
smooth, 100 million or so.
Yeah.
Build a golf course, a courthouse,
When
have
you
a
know
housing
what?
project,
That is
a
interesting.
little
Like,
square.
what if?
Yeah, dude.
What
you
if
just
a
build
what if
somewhere
a
for people to
corporation
come
builds
live?
a city?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, now you're getting it.
Yeah,
Now you're like, wait, that
finally-
is interesting.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. Now I think where
You
you're getting
get-
at. I'm thinking of like, small timers.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking big enough.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
raise the money
Now
to do
I'm
it.
saying if you're thinking really big,
You're like,
yeah.
look, I'm a startup
It makes
founder,
sense.
and we're
Yeah.
starting a fucking city up in
Yeah.
this bitch.
Yeah, dude.
And what's going to be so unique about the city is this. You just straight build up a society with capitalism.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, we're going to build our own. It looks like to me, and here's our pitch, right?
mean-
COVID has changed the world,
Yeah.
and people want a new type of place to live in, and we're going to go build that place.
Right. Or build the opposite of what people are wanting, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever's going to work.
Whatever's going to work.
Whatever's going to work.
But you're saying there's going to be a return to small town.
Yeah, I
And there
guess
could
I know
be.
what you're saying. Yeah.
And maybe small towns are old,
Yeah.
but maybe they don't have to be old. Maybe they could be fresh and brand new, but small.
Yeah.
What's the
I don't
perfect
know.
size, though?
I
Maybe
know.
there's a perfect size.
I'm sure. Like,
Maybe
I feel
like 50,000 people is just like
yeah, I feel
perfect.
like if you're playing city builder, like, does it get to a point where like, oh, this is
Ooh.
too
Now it's a club.
big?
It's a subscription model. You can't even fucking come live in our city unless
Yeah.
you pay us.
Yeah.
And now it's a
And there'll be advertisements around the city.
yeah.
Stuff
Pay
we
your
want you to
dues,
buy.
motherfuckers.
Pay your dues. Yeah, I mean, then you got a cult.
Yeah.
Welcome to our town. You got to pay your dues.
The business of cult building.
Yeah, but that'll make people feel safe and secure and connected somehow.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let's just
I
be
like
way upfront about our cult. And like, this is a cult.
Yes.
Come join our cult. Because it's fun to be in a cult. What if you actually sold the experience of a cult? Doesn't everybody want to be in a cult? What if you could like come be in a cult for 6 months and then leave? Like, what if you bought the retreat to go just the experience of a cult?
Then you have Total Recall.
Is that what that is? I've never seen that movie.
I mean, what? You haven't seen Total Recall? All right, you're going to have to check it out.
Okay.
It's without giving anything away, the idea is you go to a service that they like put you in a simulation, like your brain in a simulation for your vacation, basically. So like you go to them,
Okay.
and they're like, "Do you want to be like? Do you want to rescue somebody? Do you want like an adventure? Do you want like what kind of story do you want to live out?"
Okay. Yeah, no, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like, it's like a camp.
But like, yeah, I'm just wondering how you customize everyone's cult experience because they all want
You don't.
a little different cult experience.
No, you don't. You
maybe.
get to come to. I'm talking about a
Oh,
real
it's just,
one.
This is our cult.
This is not a virtual one.
Yeah.
This is just like, have you ever seen any of those like documentaries where you're like in the good times of the cult when it seemed like, hey,
Yeah.
that seemed like that'd be pretty badass. Like they're all
Yeah,
like
the
free love.
Rosh Hashini people.
Actually, yeah, the Rosh
Like
Hashini.
for like a tiny bit of time, it probably
Yeah.
would have been pretty dope.
It seemed pretty dope,
Yeah, for a
right?
little bit.
And I'm sure, like, whatever the hippies were doing and a lot of their weird experiments was pretty dope for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're having a blast out there.
You know, Charles Manson and
Yeah.
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. No, that one always looked like it sucked
Yeah, I think it did. I think a lot of them.
because he
all-
like worked them all to death. They're like, you have to commit
yeah,
service.
they did. Most of them all sucked.
Yeah, like the Sea Org for Scientology. I'm sure
Jesus
like that
Christ!
was horrible.
Scientology is my favorite one. So look, someone already beat us to the punch. I forgot. Scientology's. Oh, we're describing Scientology. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, podcast. This is fucking old
this is
news.
an unoriginal idea.
We'll erase the last 20 minutes. Sorry.
Just cut that out.
Cut it out.
Not good enough.
There's no new ideas, and there
I have
never
no
will be.
ideas.
It's already like even when they create or when they like are able to interdimensional travel, they're gonna be like, yeah, we already thought of that.
Yeah. Remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? We already knew that one.
Yeah, we did that one back in the 90s.
Come on. Damn, man. There's some things you're just never going to go away.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, fart humor. Still funny. Still gets a laugh.
I don't know why,
Doesn't matter.
but I got a laugh out of fart humor today. I mean,
Yeah.
I
you-
get it
you
all the
won't
time.
even see it coming. You think, no, I'm sophisticated.
oh, I've got
man.
a fart coming, and then you think immediately
Yeah.
like, how can this be funny?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It's not.
You don't
it's
have an
gross.
audience though, probably. Like I have a family, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I have an audience.
Yeah.
You have Cade.
I mean, I'm sure my roommates hear me.
Yeah, but you can't go in there
And
and
that's
like,
just funny. Yeah.
like shoot your fake pointer
Right.
guns at them and fart. Like you can't draw your
like,
fart
we
gun
gotta,
on
gotta
them.
get rid of this guy.
You can't squat like you're taking a shit and fart
Very
really
true.
loud. They would think that's funny, but
This-
your kids.
This
and
is
your
why
wife,
you get a family and
Yeah.
a wife, so you can do stuff like this.
Yeah,
That's true. You got to
So that
take
you-
those. You got to take those victories.
because after years in, you realize that there's just no shame. So you like try to take
That's
what
true.
you can. You like take advantage of that. So you just
Yeah.
completely humiliate yourself.
Yeah, people.
It's great.
People with families are definitely less reserved. I feel like.
Oh, dude,
You know what I
because you
mean?
can't be a
With
dad
kids, you
and
know.
still think you're cool.
Right.
You just can't.
You've
You
ex- you-
completely
yeah.
lose your coolness.
Yeah.
You don't, and you lose your cool a lot too. But and you lose
Yeah.
your coolness. You lose your cool and you lose your coolness.
Yeah, man. You start beering brew in your garage. I hear that's a popular.
Man,
I'm trying to get into that. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like maybe.
I don't like beer enough to do it.
Yeah, but it's just a hobby element, I guess.
Yeah, so
But
I
like
need a-
you
I need
said,
a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, here's
If
my,
you don't like beer enough, yeah, like that makes sense. It's probably not a good hobby then.
Did I
'Cause,
already
like,
pitch you my podcast idea?
So, is it Travelog or?
No, it's
I don't think so.
It's just
where we hear
Alex
from
and Rustin.
different characters, different walks
Alex
of
and
life.
Rustin learn about blank.
Blank something weird,
Yeah, just hobbies.
something novel.
Hobbies.
Hobbyist.
Like you're saying,
Yeah.
you just want to get into a hobby. It's like, yeah,
Right.
me too, and I want to know about them all. Which one am I going to be
That's
interested
so
in?
true.
So like
There's
maybe
so many.
before out of everyone's like looking for hobbies all the time. Maybe before they look for one, they go, I'm going to read a
Shop around.
podcast about hobbies, like people that are pursuing hobbies and why they love it. So we want to get on a Dungeons and Dragons,
Right.
like adamant motherfucker who like lives Dungeons and Dragons and can come in here and tell us about why it's fucking awesome. because you know it's fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
if you would say to me, "There's no way Dungeons and Dragons is awesome," I'd say you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I definitely
Sorry,
disagree.
I've never played it, and I know it's for dorks, but I'm sure it's fucking awesome. Like, I'm sure those dudes have a fucking awesome time.
Yeah, it can't stick around for that long, and
No,
it's just bad.
dude, it's got to be great. So
Yeah.
what is great about it? I don't know. That's what our podcast is about. And all we got to do is
Right.
find the people to come.
Yes, dude. I think we could find plenty of people here.
Yeah, into frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Why is that awesome? That sounds terrible.
Right.
It's like convince me that it doesn't suck balls, because I think frisbee golf sucks
Yeah.
balls.
Well, yeah, we'll do like David Crowder and sit at a table and have a sign. It says, "Tell me otherwise. Dungeons and Dragons sucks."
Is that his name?
Or is it?
In the meme?
No, not David Crowder. That's
I don't
that's
know. I
a
don't know
Christian
anybody's-
rock musician. This is Steven Crowder
Ooh, that's what we should do, is we should do the Come Town singing to Christian rock.
to David Crowder songs.
And like Among Thorns
Yeah, Among
songs.
Thorns.
And Newsboys songs.
Oh, Newsboys. I haven't heard that one in a long ass time.
Yeah, bro, I liked them. That's funny. I haven't thought about them in a long time either.
Pastor, put on that Newsboys. We're alternative church.
Got that new Newsboys album?
There's another like rap group that had a great name. It was like Grits or something like that.
Grits? That's so funny. I know who you're talking about.
Like I don't know, like
Griddle.
something like that. Griddle.
Skittles.
Well, there was Skillet.
Skillet.
Were they Christian?
I think you might be talking
think
about
they were.
Skillet. Griddle.
Skillet. Maybe it is. No, what did I say? I said grits.
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 Griddle is fun.
like-
Instead of skillet.
Yeah,
Oh,
grits, man.
I want to get into creating imaginary worlds. I don't know if it's
Sure.
like cartooning them or making, science fiction novels. Like, I don't know how I would do it because I have no skills, but creating worlds is fun. No, I don't want. I don't.
Okay.
I thought I did, but I don't.
Yeah, new worlds.
So yeah, I mean, I just think it's fun to think about world building, and then I like all the time. All the time. Maybe I should have Maybe I should take notes. Should take notes about all
Well,
the little tiny
I'll give you
ideas.
another proverb.
For some reason, it's funny to me to say that, like, this fake band called Griddle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the
Put
notes.
it in your notes. Yeah, I have a bunch of notes that don't make any sense, but I'll
Do
go
you?
back.
Do you have?
Oh yeah, on my
That's
phone
great.
all the time. Because there's a Confucius proverb that says, "The faintest ink is stronger than the best memory," which means like even if you wrote it down someplace somewhere, it's better than if you were just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was great,"
Yeah.
and then
You don't.
go on with your day.
Because your brain doesn't work like that. You can't just, like, pull out files. You can't just.
Oh man,
Oh yeah. Oh, remember
it's like
that one
it's like
day?
you caught the fish and then you just let it go.
Uh-huh.
You didn't keep it. It's the same thing because they just come
Right.
to you. Like David Lynch calls ideas like fishing. You just have to want and sit there and wait.
Can
Write
you
'em down.
remove yourself from owning those experiences? Can you say that, like, can you
Yeah.
figure out how to not own them? I think that's how
I
you
think
transcend death. Holy shit. You transcend death by not owning your moments.
Yeah, man, that's like it's like something
I don't know.
Hemingway would say or something.
I don't know how to do it or if it's possible. But, like, if you could say to yourself, hey, oh yeah, I'm having these experiences, and so will my son or daughter. Or
Right.
and I just mean generations, So will my fellow man and generations next, and they will have the same ones. And if we don't own them, then that's basically all of us living together and sharing those moments. So it's like, if human moments are all there is, if you just remove yourself from owning yours and being like, I am only
Right.
my moments, because like you said, you're catching fish and going away. You don't necessarily have this, like,
perfect log
Yeah, you're
in
not
your
your
in your memory.
history. You are also here and gone and here in the now only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're also a fish, is what I
Hmm.
think. You know, you're gonna be.
Yeah,
So
you'll be just like the movie Big Fish. Your life will just be a series of memories that aren't
yeah,
even exactly true.
exactly, exactly.
That's what Big Fish is about.
Exactly. So I feel like if everyone, it is what that is about, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and you just said the fish. I was like, yeah, you are kind of just.
Big. I didn't understand Big Fish, and
When
you're
I
totally
was
right.
younger, no, I rewatched it. I think like
It makes
when
a
I was
lot of
like
sense.
19 or so, and I was like, all right, I kind of get what they're saying now.
And it's true. I mean, that's one of those things that they tell you about how you basically what happens with your memories is every time you or anybody else tells the story, you access the memory and rewrite it and then
Yeah,
put it back in. So you can't
yeah,
ever touch the memory without changing it.
yeah. It's got to go through your childhood and shit in your brain, and
Yeah,
then process it
and
like
how you're
along with
presenting
everything
it
else.
to people when you're telling your story,
Yeah, which is very hard to
and
do.
you change it,
Yeah, right, because
and
it doesn't
it doesn't
translate
work. So you
perfectly.
fill
Yeah,
in the
right.
gaps,
Yeah,
and you say, "I don't know what we were doing. We were probably playing tennis."
yeah,
And then your story now has you playing tennis, and you
yeah,
never were playing tennis.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's like a true
Right.
thing. Your memories are always changed every single time you access them and present them to anyone, or even like look them through yourself. So you're constantly just like rewriting your own life. So it's definitely true. You know, Big Fish is a good one. I should watch it. Is there a new Christopher Nolan movie?
I think they're waiting. I did hear like something about he does have a movie, but they're waiting until theaters are back.
Got it. He wants
So,
to do the theaters thing. I don't know
yeah,
what it's
man.
about, but I like his shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, he does it. He does it like no other.
Didn't he do the new Batman?
Like he's done several of the
the
Batmans.
the Batmans though, the Heath Ledger,
Yeah,
Christian Bale.
yeah. Apparently, it took after what was the one? Dark Knight Rises is the one with the Joker, right? Like after that one, it only took so long for the next one to come out because he had a whole nother script written out with Heath Ledger as Joker in it, and had to like dump the whole script, because he wasn't gonna because he passed away.
That sucks.
So then they had to start all over with a new story. So they have been a little bit spread out. Yeah. Did you ever see the King of Comedy or the King of Late Night?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, with Robert De Niro. Almost exactly like the Joker. Really think you should check it out. Like, yeah, a lot of the whole like stand-up thing, the whole like pretty much being
Bombing
delusional, like, yeah, and that turning into something like really dark, like, but also I don't know, has kind of like funny qualities to it. Because sometimes in that movie I just would like laugh at like the stuff he was doing when he's just like bending his arms and stuff. I'm just like, what is going on with this guy? Like, he's just
Stuff like that.
losing it over here, and like just his overall attitude, and like whenever they were like, why are you doing that? That's weird. You're weird. When they're like making fun of him, I'm just like, this is funny. Like it is
so
kind of funny.
But why is it?
I guess it's funny because like, yeah, I can like, you can put yourself in that situation where people are just like, why are you acting so
It's
weird,
hilarious.
dude? You're weird.
I know it's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I think because humor is a defense mechanism, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, anytime you're at like severe drama, almost like trauma, I mean, you're like public shame. There's nothing you can do but laugh, because that's just
Yeah.
one of the worst things for us, right? Like we
Sure.
don't want that at all. We don't
No.
want our peers to laugh at us or think we're weird or disapprove.
True. And I guess it only stops getting funny when it's like actually nasty. Like if you're like making fun of somebody in a way, it's like, all right, that's not cool, man. Like,
Yeah, for
it's one
sure.
thing, you know.
Well, yeah, one thing. Yeah, if you start like if you like that you're making someone suffer, it's like one thing to get a laugh, but then to enjoy someone suffering, like weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
You know what I mean?
You're getting like something else other than
Yeah.
joy out of
Out
that.
of that just little
You're getting
laugh
like
that
something,
everyone, then
very
you're
weird.
like, oh yeah, this fucker is like, he's fucking hating life, yeah. God damn. Bro.
Yeah, dude.
At least we're waking up from Corona, I think, a little bit. I think we're about to all go back to school. Say fuck it.
Are y'all? Yeah, like are you having to
Virtual
do any of
for
that
like 4
virtual
weeks.
School stuff?
4 weeks is what they're saying. Go back, I guess.
That's crazy.
They're back in like Midland and Houston. They're back. The Woodlands, they're back in.
Oh,
So,
man, I wonder if I would have loved or hated that as a kid.
bro, I think if it just depends on the kid, you know.
Yeah.
Some kids, I mean, can you
variables.
imagine if you were like, what if you were in sports and it's your senior year and you're like,
Oh yeah, those. Yeah, older kids I feel bad for
Yeah.
sure.
senior year kids
Yeah,
sucks.
even college kids, but they can at least break the rules.
I just remember
You
like
know.
senior year was like, it's like a thing, right?
Yeah, it was the best one.
You every
far, it was the
single
best, yeah.
grade you're like, oh, I'm just a little fucking punk kid. And 18 you're finally like,
Yeah, we rule.
yeah, we
Our
rule,
classes,
man.
they're the rulers now.
We're the top, man.
Yeah.
We're about to be, people are starting to treat us like adults a little bit.
Yeah,
About to go get jobs. We're in school still. It's like the 1 year
yeah.
where you get to take advantage of being a kid and being an adult. Kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really
so,
adult,
so
but
losing
it's
that
a
because
great
of
year.
some bullshit would really suck. You know?
Yeah. It would piss me
Yeah.
off. Like, oh, because people
Well, when
were
they
pussies.
open the school back up, I'm gonna shoot it.
Jesus.
I'm gonna put up with this shit.
Yeah. If no one can be happy, I mean, if I can't be happy, no one can be happy.
Dude, who knows? I mean,
That's a real
I feel
thing.
like the kids have a lot more to deal with than us for sure. With like social media and all that. Like you talking about what you trying to cut out versus like the amount of shit that they have, like TikTok and all that stuff, and there's
Dude,
just some
the thing-
wild shit
here's-
out there that they're gonna have to get exposed to.
Here's
like,
my idea,
real
too.
quick.
Okay? Like,
Like, are we?
feel
is
like
that,
we have been trying for forever to be able to like feed and sustain our physical bodies. Like that's it. You know, it all revolves around that, you know, and the rest is an afterthought. Right? Like, well, the food's got to get produced. So if it's fucking you up psychologically, we can talk about that and think about it, but that is an afterthought, you know? Like nobody had their feelings given a fuck about for a long time is what I think. That's where this disconnect between the generations are. You have these older people that are like tough as nails because no one gave a fuck about them. The system had to work. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the mail, rain, snow or whatever. They're always going.
yeah, rain or shine, whatever.
Yeah. So, and isn't that true when you're like building the physical
Yeah.
world, the physical infrastructure of our society? Like it
Yeah.
has to fucking work or you don't get food. You know? So they come from that world and we come from the fucking world of
Of you better address me by this certain type of way, or
yeah, and that's
Sure.
like it's just that once you can pay attention to the psychology of humans, right, and like their well-being, it's like first of all, we don't even really know what success is. Like,
true.
I mean, it's just we
We've
don't.
been sold an idea of
I
what
mean,
success means for
yeah,
sure.
well, I mean, I would think success means happiness, but what the fuck is that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, it's just all we do is think about what's best for people, and that's great. I'm not saying it's not great, but it's like definitely a conundrum. It was a lot
Yeah.
easier to figure out how to get the corn to grow and distribute it.
Right.
And use all the motherfuckers and their psychologies, who cares, but use them all to get that done. Like, This has to get done. But now
Right.
when you're like, okay, it's done and everyone's got their food, now we also have to think about how miserable we all are.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what is it?
You
The
weren't.
hierarchy of needs kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now
yeah.
like self-actualization is
Yeah.
like the hardest.
Yeah.
Almost unachievable. So like when you already like up a couple levels, like trying to get to that thing is so like abstract and unknown, and is that what you
Yeah,
kind of mean?
the
It's just
pursuit
like,
of that next level is
Yeah, it's
very
like-
unclear.
yeah,
and
we
then
don't
whenever
even know
you're
what that
trying to
next level
help-
looks like.
And then you're trying to like bring it goes into the government, and the government's trying to provide
Right.
for that next level of hierarchy of needs, right? And they don't even know what it is, or no one knows
No,
what
they
it
don't know what
is.
it is. They just want to control it. Whoever it is wants to control whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and that's the problem too. Is
Yeah.
you try to define what it is, and it's like, well, it's actually up to the
Yeah.
individual to define what that is. So, us trying to define it poses a problem in and of itself, I would think. It's just, I think what I'm trying to say really is like these are new age problems. Like we have these, we never
sure.
were allowed to have these problems. You were like, if you had these problems, it was like, bro, you're getting in the way of the corn being distributed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're not allowed to have those, so fuck your problems for forever, right? And it was like,
Sure.
and it was like, if you are a bitch, you're a bitch. Suck it up, dude. That's what they would always like. You just didn't.
Right.
It was like you had to use a defense mechanism or push it down or maybe like remain at a certain level of awareness, right? You didn't want to like get higher.
Right.
You didn't want to raise your awareness because
You want to coast.
because you want to just get your job done,
Yeah, man.
coast. So maybe we're like evolving and it's just fucking hard. I mean, I think about the nature of
true.
what it is anyway. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, man.
I mean, what is it? Well, yeah, it's just
It makes me understand. Definitely makes me understand like religious people a whole lot more, because it almost has to be a test. Like it almost
It gives
has to
them a
be a
square
journey
one,
because there's
yeah.
no other like way to define what this whole thing is,
Yeah.
right? So like, yeah,
it has to be a test.
it's like having another parent. It's like, oh no, like it's all a test. This whole thing. So, don't worry, I have a plan. Like God has a plan or whatever. Like I can see why people are like cool with that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Like when you really dive into it, you get into the like philosophy of the whole thing, and then you're just like, okay, now I really understand like where it all comes from, like the need like for your purpose and all that.
you can fill in the rest of
Yeah.
the blanks if you start with square one. It,
Yeah.
it it lays down the foundation for you to build on a
Yeah.
meaningful life, right? And if you don't
Yeah.
have the unknowns filled, you can't build those a lot of the times.
Right, because I used to think it was only about eternal life is why people needed religion.
Yeah, I used to think
but
that
now
too.
I think like, well, now
No.
I see the life function of this life.
It was
and
built
why
for this.
People,
It was built. Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's not just, oh, I better do this or I'm not going to heaven. Like, it's it makes a lot more sense when you like dive into that whole. These problems are
For your mind.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little too hard for one person to just think up. So, yeah, man, self-actualization. I don't know what to think of it.
Well, I just think about a lot of it is like, do the people believe their own bullshit? You know what I mean? So who do
Yeah.
the creators of the bullshit believe the bullshit is what I'm trying to say. Like, can you fucking create religion and believe it yourself? You know what I mean? Can you? Because I definitely think that there was some kind of power that put a religion out there, but I also think that those kind of things are self-adopted. and people have to, like, the governments have to go with the way of the people. So I don't ever like
Right.
think religion was like said, here's what y'all are going to believe, you know, by some powers that be. I think it's like we created it as we to for those functions without even knowing what we were doing. Is kind of how I look at it. Like telling our own stories and then believing them. I just don't think it was created by like I don't think
Yeah.
religion was created by a really brilliant man.
Yeah. No.
It was like adopted by society
Yeah, you're
and
giving-
molded and
Yeah.
all the stories together, and
Okay.
then you know what? Eventually, somebody's got some kind of rhetoric that is like, yeah, God loves us and He made everybody,
Sure.
and then they are like, yeah, that's what we like to believe. So it's adopted, you know, and furthered,
it's-
and then the preacher ends
okay,
up like
yeah.
keeps telling the stories that people want to hear.
Yeah.
Because he knows what they want to hear, what their hearts want to feel, you know, to give them that fill the blanks,
it's
give
kinda
you,
like-
create, build off of these
Yeah.
core
It's kind of like the first.
unknowns.
Yeah.
You know,
First constitutions.
Stop coming around the campfire and asking where we
Yeah.
came from, right? You know where we came from, God. You know, now ask what we can do with it, which is actually really great tool, right? To get people into action, maybe. And like I said, I don't think it was designed to do these things. Somebody said, "Oh,
Right.
yeah, you know what? If we create religion, people will
Yeah,
be
that's a
more
good point.
mind like calm in their minds and they're
Yeah.
questioning." No, like we wanted it, and people told stories and believed them and told each other,
Yeah.
"You're gonna believe it too, or else you're gonna get shut out of the group." You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, I totally get that.
Out of the needs in our
Yeah.
minds for those, you know.
Right.
For those things. Like we don't really want a blank canvas. Every life
Right.
doesn't need a blank canvas, you know? Some lives need a
Absolutely.
fake structure, a fake
Sure.
backstory.
Yeah, especially when it's pretty insignificant. You know.
In the long run, if we're
Like,
just a speck of
yeah.
freaking crazy ass like happenstance that no
Yeah.
one even really knew about in the corner of some goddamn Gamma XX3 of somebody's, you know, like
Right.
nothingness, then yeah. I mean, maybe it's
Yeah.
good, you know.
They're just like, yeah, I'll be a bean farmer or something. You know. They're like,
For
that
God.
works. Yeah.
for
for
Jesus.
God. Bean farmer for geniuses.
Bro, have you seen Smoking Jesus out there? Did we talk about that last time?
Smoking Jesus.
Out there in Kingsland?
No. I
It's a
haven't heard
church
of
called
them.
Smoking Jesus.
Oh, that's you know
we
what?
did talk
I
about
know the church. Smoking Jesus.
And isn't there a bunch of meth heads
Might-
up there?
Yeah, did you see in Kingsland there's like a big sign
Yeah.
that says like no meth zone.
Yeah, I've seen that. The big
That's so
billboard.
sad that
It
that's
is.
like
It's
hit that
terrible.
area.
Yeah,
But I
my-
mean that's the area it would hit. Makes sense. Heard great things about meth.
what if it was like commonplace and you could like stay sane
Right.
and you were like, oh yeah, I need to get some yard work done. I'm gonna
Right.
smoke some meth tomorrow morning and just fucking get it all knocked out.
Yeah, we have that. It's called Adderall. Or
Yeah,
Vyvanse.
but it's not as common for like like someone who doesn't take it often to be
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna hit the pipe tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
okay.
And just I'm just gonna get all my
Just gonna get
spring
everything
cleaning done
done
tomorrow, you know?
like
you
a
ever
psycho.
you ever just hit the meth pipe and get your
Yeah,
yard work done?
right. Yeah. That would be
That'd be dope, right?
yeah, like if
I
it,
really-
in that world, yeah, where that was just a totally fine
I
function,
actually do think about sophisticated like
where it doesn't hurt you.
if we
basically.
become way more intelligent to where we're like
I got you, like a super
very-
soldier drug almost.
people
just
are like don't need
productivity.
all the laws and shit. Like if we were more like Spock, do you know what I mean?
Vulcanized.
Yeah, you know, something
Yeah.
like to where you're more controlled. It's not this fucking
Yes.
crazy ass,
Right, your emotions aren't
unpredictable
messing you up
humans.
all the
Like,
time,
oh my
yeah.
god, we got bipolar, we've got roid rage,
Yeah.
we've got, you know, you fucking name it, bro. People are
Yeah.
insane. They're
We're very emotional creatures, man.
yeah, dude, they're
Like,
bottle rockets. You
yeah.
know, they're like ready to go. A lot of them.
Sure.
So if we weren't like that, or in the future, if we're not anymore, because we've tamed our emotions, you know, over generations of society, you know what I mean? Like over a long time, if we do become more Spockish, I can
Right.
see drug use being this like you use heroin when you know the days are long and you know you're waiting on something. I don't know, like they just like have these actual
Yeah, like
uses.
super
You're like,
drugs.
oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like a perfect time to use this. Instead of you just think
Yeah.
of meth as being people who are like, I'm gonna do meth all the time. You know, like I'm just,
Use meth responsibly.
which it is the case. That is the case. But what if you could use all of these crazy drugs responsibly? It'd be amazing.
That would. Yeah,
It would really,
it
you
would
could
definitely be
really
amazing.
enhance life. I think. Like, I think optimized drug use seems to pose a huge opportunity. Like,
Oh, dude, big
like
time.
huge opportunity if you knew all the different drugs available to you, and you like knew the task at hand, and some of them were good for different things. You know, I mean, I think we're already to some extent doing
could
that,
be-
right? Like
yeah, I mean,
alcohol and
you'd be
social
like,
experiences is a huge aid.
You'd be like a crazy Russian czar having mercury, and like, yeah, people have always tried optimizing drug use. Like,
Yeah.
To take shit over to like be
Sure.
more productive.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Coffee.
yeah,
Coffee is a drug
coffee.
for that.
Yeah, there was a time
I
that
just think about like the hardcore drugs, like mushrooms and like when.
optimizing
Oh
the
yeah.
chemicals in them.
Tomorrow I'm gonna do a brainstorm session for my children's book that I gotta get published soon, and so I'm gonna eat a lot of mushrooms in the morning
Right.
and really like try to get out of my brain and have some unique ideas. Oh, cool. That sounds like a good time tomorrow. Yeah, I'm probably gonna shit my brains out though, or
Yeah.
not be able to shit my brains out depending on which way it goes.
Very true.
I'm gonna
I
do
mean,
that.
no.
Is what I'm saying. Nothing's stopping me.
You're gonna
I'm gonna use meth when I need to do
Start
yard
using
work.
meth.
I'm gonna do.
I was gonna say, like, the whole ideology just sounds like a drug addict. Like, I'm gonna use these drugs real quick because I gotta get this done.
Yeah, it is.
I gotta use
Which,
this because I gotta be social
yeah,
and have a drink.
I'm about to go drive to
and
the
do
store,
this.
so I
Yeah,
better
like,
smoke.
that's why I was just like, this just sounds like a drug addict's
That's exactly.
idea.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
I'm a drug addict. I drink
One-
coffee
one that,
all day.
Yeah, I mean that is a drug. You're right. Yeah,
Drugs.
dude.
What drug would help
harder
me
one.
do this better? It's like that idea is so gripping. That's why addicts are like that, right? It's like fascinating. Like what? I could be this experience could be
Yeah.
done on or off of drugs. Right? That's what they
Yeah.
every experience. Oh, this could be done on drugs or off drugs.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm picturing both of them, and it sounds like a lot more fun on drugs. So
Yeah. Optimize them drugs. Balance them out.
no, yeah. That's the addict mentality is hilarious. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've got it. So
mow
it's
my
just-
mow my lawn. We're like mow my lawn on meth. Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
Gonna be sweating
How
so
else
much.
do you do it?
Biting my teeth down, grinding them,
Oh yeah.
not being able to talk to people when they stop by and say
You
hello.
just grunt at them. I don't even know what it's like to be on meth, and I'm like imagining. I think the problem with doing any of that would be that you could probably never really like stay focused on what you're supposed to be getting
No,
done.
that's the whole thing with uppers.
With
It's
any
like
drug,
you, you jump all
You're
over
just
the place.
yeah. I'm like no, not.
like, Mr. Jesus, crazy.
Like, yeah, anybody
Yeah.
who knows anything about drugs is thinking right now, well, let me tell you, Rustin, why that's a terrible idea and that no one will
No,
ever be able to
I know
use meth to
exactly
get
what
their
you
yard
mean.
worked.
Like if you could just take all the best things and it not like affect you, like
Yeah.
your overall health, or overall mental health, and if you could just use the best parts, like yes, that would be fucking awesome. Like a video game, like oh, you drink this spell and it'll fix this real quick. Like
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Like you just like nailed it. And you're really good balancing them out.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great.
You'd be superhuman. You'd be Adolf Hitler. Like I figured out to be the craziest guy in the world. Like, could you imagine being that productive? Like that guy was so driven.
yeah.
Like how hard would you have to work?
It's like
you
they all
gotta
went to
be-
jail. Everyone who
Yeah.
did great shit went to jail
Oh,
and like
because they were trying.
had to
and
be.
Yeah.
Because it has to fuck you up, I think, going to jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It
So-
definitely fucks you up. I'm sure.
I think he
mean,
just has
it's
to
gonna
like
it's gonna change you.
you find a different side of
Yeah.
you, right? You
Yeah,
have to.
I mean it's like a
a much more
Jesus
determined.
going out to the wilderness. You're just isolated from everything. Like
Oh
you have
God,
to learn.
it's way worse than
It's
that.
like your ego
It's a different
death.
thing than that.
Yeah, I guess it is totally
I
different.
know what you mean though. It's like the same, but it's like that's when you like welcome it. This one's like it's forcing it on you.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
yeah.
like, hey, you're gonna fucking find this part of you, whether
yeah,
you fucking like it
right.
or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which might mean
The
you
camp.
might be closed off to it. You might have to fight. People. You probably
Yeah.
have some breakdowns. I would. Like, say you were thrown into
Sure.
jail tomorrow.
Anybody, yeah.
Like, just thrown in jail tomorrow.
yeah,
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'm fucked. They say you got 5 years in here, Oh my God,
oh yeah,
you're gonna, as
Right.
you come to terms with that, you're gonna wrestle and get fucked up, and you're gonna meet a different
Yeah.
side, a different
you're gonna
Alex.
meet. Yeah, and you'll meet a different
And a-
population of people. as
Yeah,
well.
well, yeah, and that changes you too, for sure. But the Alex that you meet, though, I think is like a much more like maybe determined and serious Alex, like an Alex that can handle more shit,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a stronger Alex,
For sure.
right? That's who you meet in there.
more
He
capable.
has to come
more
out.
capable for
He has
sure.
to come out so that he doesn't like fucking cry every day in jail.
Yeah.
Like the Rustin right now would cry every night in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta fucking not do that, you little bitch.
Right.
Like you're a little bitch, and then the not bitch Rustin comes out. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
when I just
absolutely.
think it throws you like it's
yeah,
gonna
it's the lion's
Ooh,
den, man.
put you behind some bars, dude. That's like exactly what humans don't want. It's the worst,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. You're
God
totally
damn
right.
it.
It's the worst feeling.
That
You
goes
have
back
no
to
control.
me. And that I think I've been kind of obsessed with trying to strip down culture completely out of my understanding of humanity. So it's like, what are we really, right? Outside of culture? Culture defines
Yeah.
so much of who we are and what we do. But like, what about
Yeah.
not that? What about just like the physical
Yeah.
phenomenon of organisms and humans and like basically a free will trapped in a being, in a animated piece of clay. And it's like
Yeah.
when you think about what that is and how that interacts with its world, that's what we're all exploring all the time. It's like why you get so pissed off when you get behind bars? I don't know. Think about it in those terms and you might
Right.
understand it differently,
Yeah, absolutely.
Cuz like nothing in
Yeah.
our culture tells us to not be in a room. It's like your nature that doesn't want to be there. You're this free will aspect of what, animation is, like what having life in a lifeless object. It's like, what does that mean for the world to interact with itself, right? Aren't we like made
Yeah.
out of the world? So
We're made out of stardust, Rustin.
yeah. But we're out of the clay, you know? We're interacting with ourselves. Like, it's just a weird fucking phenomenon that, like,
Right.
so fucking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regardless of, like, how it happened or anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's
just
almost like a
like
brilliant
you're
idea.
just like a. So
When you
it's, I guess,
create that thing, they don't want to be, don't go
yeah.
anywhere.
Well, you know, good job for jail making me like not want to do the craziest shit, like, because
Yeah.
it does sound that terrifying. Basically,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I think
Does
you
a
know,
much
I think
better job
I think
than
we
the threat
need
of hell.
to chill out on who we throw into jail. Like,
Oh
we need
yeah,
to chill out.
huge.
I think on that, and I
Oh.
don't think that's a very popular opinion, but like we kind of need to chill out. Like jail's important. Like we need that shit for
Yeah,
sure.
but
Like, but we need to ease up.
it doesn't
on,
need to be a
like,
threat to
who's
like
going on.
innocent people.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, I mean,
And we're pretty harsh, I would think.
yeah,
It's a
for sure, man.
it's a really, and look, that's in general what I'm saying is that phenomenon that I was explaining earlier times 6 billion creates a new set of problems like that
Yeah.
has never been thought up before, bro. It's
Yeah.
just such an insane. Is this the first time this has ever happened?
We just need.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you know.
holy shit.
Yeah, did this?
It seems like the only thing. You know why humans have thought that they were the center of the universe? For a reason, you know what I mean? Because you're the only animated thing.
Yeah.
Like, the phenomenon of life is almost. It does make sense to think that that's the center of the universe. It does to
Sure.
me. And it still, to me, in a different meaning, makes sense to me. Like, it's the reason we exist, and it wouldn't exist without us, in a way.
Absolutely. Like, man.
Like, kind of like you wouldn't have a fish tank
Right.
without fish.
Yes. Yes, we are the universe experiencing itself as itself in a way.
Yeah.
And not so much, you know, just an empty vessel. Like you're saying, like there is something like going through all of it, and without that, whatever force you want to call it is, then there isn't even that world for it to be. Like,
Yeah, without the animation, right?
Yeah.
The people
Without-
experience.
without all these laws, without all these rules of the universe, it wouldn't work. So, like us being a product of those rules, like we only exist because of those rules, and vice versa. Same thing with everything else.
So what's really hilarious to me is like to think about these complex problems with like laws and industries and legal departments and like, you know, all these crazy, you know, those are like a layer on top of so many other phenomenal layers of like what we're talking about, the basics
Right.
of humanity, you know? And then when you like layer a ton of humans together, you get these, and it's just like a fucking joke.
Damn, yeah. I don't even know where to go from that, honestly, bro.
Oh yeah, because I'm an idiot.
Talking, no, no, just you're on another level, man.
I think about,
Whatever.
isn't there like some commandments for a new world somewhere in like Georgia? And there's like all these weird things about how the population should never be over like 500,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that maybe some population control could be good.
Well, I think it's crazy that I ever thought that because it's like, man, whose problems are we solving? Like,
Human sacrifice.
we're
man.
gonna wipe out 5 billion people. Well, let's know
Human
why.
sacrifice.
Let's know why first, you know?
Nah, let's just
Do
do
it.
a crazy dance and wear feathers.
Yeah, and do it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, population
Some-
control is interesting, but what are we avoiding, right? And
Yeah.
It's
We're
like,
avoiding competition from our own, from your own people. Really.
do you think that there's too much competition?
No. No.
Right? Like,
I don't think I'd ever say that.
Like, people would need to be suffering really badly to be thinking before you start thinking about population control, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do have a form of population control here. I mean, if you're not cut out for whatever the system is, you're homeless, and then, fuck you, fuck off. Like, it happens every day. Like, population is controlled. It doesn't have to be like a fascist government. It can be like you lost your job and like you don't have a family and you have a drug addiction. Like, you're done now. Like, so in a way, like, population control does exist. Like, absolutely. You may not be like the slowest guy getting eaten by a lion or whatever, but
You get
like,
eaten by the system, though.
and I think like, yeah, whenever
still a nature
whenever we're
here.
addressed with like the homelessness problem, like, all of a sudden everybody's a little more cool with like, yeah, population control. Like, these people need to go somewhere or something needs to happen because they're not staying here. Like, so everyone in a way like participates in it just by buying into the system, which is, a good system, better than most that have come around, like,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah,
But-
dude, like, people believe in population control way more than they think.
Yeah, but they think of it like,
as soon as like, oh, my like town or my area like might have to deal with like a wave of people or whatever like that. Nobody likes that shit. Like, stay out of this neighborhood, man. You got to be a certain type of level to be here. So like, yeah, there is
in the
kind
name
a
of
little bit
like
that.
security, I guess.
Yeah, maybe beyond security even, of like true like, yeah, I'm better than that person. So I get like, and that's fine. Like, that's the way the world works. Like, yeah, well, I'm just doing a better job, so that's where I'm at. Like, at least that's what you gotta tell yourself. Like,
Dude, it's such the world, man. I think that's where people are getting is they just don't want to even engage in
No.
how hard it can be to just like take on an issue
no, hell no.
or to just like think about an issue.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm just going to scroll my feed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, fuck.
yeah.
Can you blame anybody?
No.
They're just
No.
overwhelmed by any of the
'Cause
like
if you think that way, like, you're a bummer now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you're around like group of people or whatever, like, oh, okay, now you brought everything down,
Yeah.
and so like it's not socially acceptable to like maybe bring that up, look at
So
it.
to me,
You know what I mean?
yeah, and you know what that does, bro? When people are like opting out, they're saying, this is too hard to talk about and think
Yeah, I
about.
want to stay in this state I'm in.
You,
all right
you know what
now.
happens? You know what happens? The state takes over.
Yeah. And I feel them sometimes. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay in this state right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I'm saying no, like that state of being. But I mean the state takes over, like the Pink Floyd man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fucking powers that be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take the system
The state
takes
does
over. The
eventually take
system
over
makes
it
the
all.
rules after that. If you don't want to, if people don't want to spend the time and brain power thinking about and solving the problems
Yeah.
and thinking about why it should be a certain way and why we shouldn't do things a certain way, then the state decides. This
That
fucking
is true.
system
You can always
decides.
go back to that, and that'll give you peace of mind. Nope. People are supposed to take care of that are taking care of it, so I'm good.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Yeah, we do.
We do cuz bro, it's too much. It's so fucking
because
hard.
when you really, get into it and really,
It's too much.
Yeah,
I'm too
who's got-
dumb. I'm too
yeah.
dumb, and I'm one of the smartest people that I hang out with. I hang out with
Yeah.
dumber people than me. Just playing. But I'm just saying.
cool, man. I'm glad you came to hang out.
Speaking
Yeah.
speaking directly to you, Alex.
You're gonna hang out
No,
my brother later. He's
yeah,
super.
I'll tell him too.
You're fucking dumb.
You're fucking
dude.
dumb. All of my friends
I
are
love-
dumber than me.
that's why I love
I'm
you
better.
guys.
I'm better and
You're
smarter.
like my little pets. I'll
Yeah.
go see.
Really, I should say that I'm very. Don't think I'm stupid. So
No,
so-
you don't. Yeah,
you know what I
you're
mean?
not
But-
stupid because
but I
other
also-
people are gonna tell you like you're
yeah,
smart.
it's like I know I'm not stupid, but I
Right.
also feel stupid when I think of anything political or how the world
Oh,
works.
yeah,
Like I feel
absolutely.
like, God damn it, I used to feel smarter. I used to feel like
Oh,
I
well,
knew.
absolutely, yeah.
I knew how this shit works. And if you ask me, I'll fucking tell you.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, God damn,
Yeah.
the world is hard. The problems are
Right.
real, and I can understand everyone's sides. And it's like abortion. It's like,
Yeah, it's still a tough one for me.
oh, yeah,
honestly.
let's just not have that conversation,
Yeah.
and the state will decide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what everyone wants to do. No one has that conversation. They have it in their head, maybe for a little
Yeah.
bit, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like that.
For sure.
That's the-
yeah. There's a lot of ways like abortion's a good one too because you can always be like, well, I'm a man
Yeah.
and I don't need to have any.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't have to say. I can't say anything.
Yeah. Well,
and that is like not
well, my
even
opinion doesn't
fair.
really matter. You
Yeah.
like have a first.
Yeah. You can't. That isn't even fair.
That's not
You
fair.
can't do that.
That's no, it's not fair. Because
Like,
everyone.
you can't put it all on. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, your fellow girls will help you figure that out. Not me. Don't look to me. Look to your
Don't ask
fellow
me.
women.
Yeah. Only you
I'm
would
not
say.
a part of that. I'm a man.
That's all the women doing that. All that
Yeah,
stuff.
that is definitely. It's funny that you say that because it really is not fair. That kind of is
It's like
where
men
like
kind of
that's
do
the
need to speak
division
about it.
where sexism and all like I get a little like sexism. You know what I mean? But it really is.
Yeah.
There's a place where you can't make a division, right? You can't like imagine if men said, well, I'm not going to vote for women's suffrage or not because I don't really know what it must feel like for a woman.
For sure.
You know what I mean? You'd be like, bro, you're bailing
Yeah.
out on something you're supposed to be weighing in on. Like, you can't
Yeah.
do that. Like, so you can't make
We
a
need both the genders. You
Yeah.
know, we need them both.
Well, we're
kinda
the same
deciding
thing,
this.
is what I'm trying to say. In women's suffrage, we are the like. Look, when you're
Yes.
voting for that, you're all humans, and you're saying like there's
Right.
no division there. There should not be a division when you go to the polls and decide on whether or not women can vote. You're all humans going to
Right.
the poll. You know what I mean? And the abortion is a very unique one. So I mean, but I guess my point is just like. A lot of sexist arguments are stupid to me because there's real differences between men and women. And when you go to like the athletic world, that's like very obvious way to see where the transgenders
Yeah.
are trying to compete against the women. And that's why there's a women's league and there's a men's league and a women's league. And you can't just have one league. So I'm like, anyway, I'm like when you make divisions when they're not needed and necessary to get out of something to serve yourself as a male or female, that's when sexism is real and a problem, right? When you divide
Yeah.
for your own purpose, like when you say, it's almost like the father and mother saying, oh, that's your kid. When it's time, when you make a
Sure.
division between that's our kid and you make this division, like make it up for your own sake. When you point out the difference between men and women, when you're in a conversation where it doesn't matter, right? That's like,
Right.
and then I guess the reason I'm making a point here is because like when there is a reason to make the division, which there's obviously a lot of times when it's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm a man, you're a woman. Like, it's not
Then it's
fair
not
to call
okay.
that sexist, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Like
There's a
the divisions
reason.
we already established are not right, and the new divisions,
like
they're
in
division- they're 'cause
athletics
they're supposed to be.
specifically is a great, easiest way to like point
or
it
the
out.
military.
Or the military. Right, exactly.
Like
because
real
it's like,
reasons why.
right. Yeah, I'm not just a sexist.
Yeah.
Like the people
Just
who
who
don't
the
think
person
that
is.
women should go and be
Yeah.
deployed aren't sexists. Some of them are. A lot of them
Yeah.
are. But you also should hear them. You know what I'm
there's
saying?
a lot of different. yeah, a lot of different
You should
ways
just
to be in the
automatically
military.
call people sexist
Like, you
when they
can-
make a division
Yeah.
between male and female. That is necessary,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Like there is a difference. When you go to the polls, there's no difference. Your genitalia does
True.
not matter. When you are
Right.
deployed
Is this a man voting
together
right now?
in a
Yeah.
community, there is
Yeah.
a reason you should speak about the differences, And those people just shouldn't be called sexist because they think women shouldn't be deployed with men. So military is a good point too. So I get, obviously this comes from my
Your long experience.
just when feminists go and try to make people, they call people sexist that aren't, you know what I mean? I get frustrated with that whole thing, and
Yeah, well, I feel like, yeah, the older you get, I definitely remember hearing that, he's just a feminist on women, and that's why, and I'm just that's such a low blow. Come on, can't you do a little better than that? If you really don't like this person,
yeah.
You could be a little more professional about how you might want to move where you work, or anything like this. But to hear that stuff, and it just seemed to kind of a little childish to already make it about that.
Call
come
them
on.
sexist, right off the bat.
I think the older you get, the less you'll hear that. Oh, well, they're just sexist, and that's
It's
that is kind of a younger people tend to say that a little bit more.
I need a good analogy. Maybe you can help me
it's
make
tough.
one for this, because it's like giving very advanced tools to people who don't understand them, right? It's look, sexism is a very
nuanced
It's a
discussion to have.
yes,
It
right.
takes hours
Yeah.
of talking.
Don't read
Right.
the definition and then go use it and call people that. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's you're not equipped, bro. You're not licensed to
one,
use this terminology.
One comment is not
if-
even gonna
Right.
scratch the surface
What
of
if-
how deep that.
What
that
if
shit
freedom
is.
of speech is where we're fucking up? And really, that is
No,
not a good value to
well-
have, and maybe you should be
In some ways, yeah, it's not always the best.
yeah. What if that idea doesn't compute with the new tools, and it's people shouldn't
That's a
just
good
be able
point.
to publish anything they want, and you know what I mean? I still believe in freedom of speech and shit like that, but. What if what if we still have these ideas that we're
Freedom of speech is now an old idea.
Yeah, what if it was?
I know what you mean,
and
though,
we're
'cause it
not
does
ready
cause-
to know that.
It causes a lot of problems. Let's be honest.
For sure it does.
But we
but
think it's
obviously you
that
can't get
worth
rid
it.
of it, right? It
Yeah.
also protects our rights, but it does
Exactly.
But it does fuck us up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. Because there's so many just awful things that are said, and they're just freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. It's a free
And-
country.
Yeah. Yeah, I still believe in it though, for sure.
Of course.
For
I mean,
sure. But I think
I don't have a point behind that at all.
I think the
just,
consequences do get pretty out of hand sometimes, for sure. But I guess it's the same idea as gun control in America.
Yeah, not
It's
gonna take those away.
As long as I
There's
have
a
a gun
benefit
and
to
you have a
controlling it.
gun, it's fair. As long as I can say what I want to say and you say what I want to say, it's fair. So
And it is.
I think that's where that freedom of speech comes from. Is
I am American.
say what I
as
want.
American
I can arm myself.
Dude, I am so
Yeah.
hardcore. If we have problems, if
It
we
creates
get to where
a politer society, I think, because if you can confront somebody and really say what the fuck you want to say to
Yeah.
them, then something could happen that's bad off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck to be according to the government, I can't confront this person and say this, say
yeah,
that.
no, it would be awful.
Yeah, but that's what we're getting at is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're posting that online or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, real briefly, it almost is
Dude,
the
basically
government controlling what you're saying, but it's not the government. It's just this opinion that's been made, this imaginary hive mind
Yep.
of people
Yep.
that are fucking glued to everything happening on that shit all the time. But they'll fuck you up. There's just people on the internet that'll just track down whatever. If you ever succeed, on a high level. So maybe it's not good. I don't know.
No, it's good,
It's
but
good.
it just goes back to the imperfect like nature of it all, right? Like nobody said when they animated the clay that there's going to be a right way to do it. It's like it's almost like we're a natural born catch 22 and you just can't
Yeah.
ever there's not a way. There's not a way to do it. Is what I think.
No.
Like this pursuit of a way to do it is great because you can keep getting better and better and maybe like creating a system that gets better and better, but there's just like not necessarily, I don't think, a way. Like
Nah.
the idea that there
Gotta
is
be.
one and we're looking for it, right? Like it's hidden somewhere. Oh, here it is. We found it.
That's true.
Like, no, you're making all this up. You're just clay.
Yeah, there's only chaos and death, all
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
There's not
chill out with your plans.
there's not a we didn't
Yeah, that's like,
it's almost designed to not have like
yeah.
designed to have conflict.
See what you're saying?
Yeah. Scarcity,
That's all thought
limited
experiment.
space. Like
Yeah, thanks a lot, God. Come on.
but maybe thanks. Maybe
Thanks.
maybe, we love drama and the world would just
Sure.
like if we were never challenged with so much bullshit our whole
Yeah.
life, our day would just be boring as fuck. And
Yeah.
maybe maybe you can't have animated clay without like
Without the
with
ticking clock.
cycles and triumphs and
Yeah.
falls and just like constant waving, maybe
Yeah.
maybe the struggle is our frequency, and like it just doesn't exist without that. You're stale and you don't move around and you're a
Sure.
fucking die. Like maybe previous versions of the Matrix didn't have as much conflict built into its nature and it just
Yeah.
had slimy moldy fucks.
Yeah.
Not Greek gods,
Yeah.
statues
Yeah.
who could throw
Cool shit.
discs for fucking hundreds of feet. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe the world's built to mold us, I like to think of previous
Mold.
versions of the Matrix, like God
Mold
fucked
the
up
clay.
several times and like had really shitty worlds at first, like Siamese monsters and shit.
Yes. Just like, oh no. That
Like the
wasn't right
flood
one.
idea, right? And then he like floods the world. Like this is a fuck up.
Oh, the whole new covenant.
Yeah.
Ends a covenant with one person.
Well, maybe
starts a
like
new
he had to
covenant.
flood the fucking universe first one
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Like just blew it up with a superstar.
Yeah,
Said,
and he's just like, God damn it, that's gonna take me another 25 billion
Billion.
years to get back to that point. Yeah, right.
it's just his and that's what they say, like the alien,
like, oh,
alien ant
God.
farm, right? That's the whole idea. Like just
Alien
this
ant
kid
farm.
alien has an ant farm, which is our universe, and he is like blowing it up and starting it over, and he's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
got a lifespan of 100 billion years, and he's like just in his childhood fucking with his science
Yeah.
project.
I'm okay with that.
Alien ant farm.
Sure.
Brilliant.
I'm Alien Ant Farm.
Of course you
I
are.
thought of the band.
Of course you're okay with that. Of course you are.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter if I'm not okay with it.
Well, because it's a lot better than saying like what is the other answer? Tell me the other. How could it not be that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Exactly. Can't tell you.
It's that. It's an
I
alien
only
ant
have a
farm.
little human brain, so
I mean, look, the only
even
other
begin.
answer. This is probably stupid, but I mean it's definitely stupid. I'm a dumb fuck, but the only other answer is that like it's completely nothing else outside, and it came from nowhere, and it's always been here. And there is, it's just a really crazy chance, and it's, and mass is perpetual, and this, I mean, like, what if that is the way, if are you okay with that?
Yeah, I don't need no, not as much as the alien ant
Right.
farm.
That's what I meant by, of
Yeah.
course you're okay with the alien.
Yeah,
The alien space daddy. You
I
need,
see what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah. The no space daddy
yeah,
is what people aren't okay with.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
It's not. It's like
I'm,
what?
yeah, because that's like, well, now you're just talking about my reality. You
Yeah.
know, like it's like, well, yeah, that's what I actually think.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I like that one way better,
Yeah.
and it's like you said, plausible.
I actually think that the no space daddy is not very plausible. And when I mean space daddy, it doesn't even have to be an entity. It could be a word I don't exist to replace the word entity. The word I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
can be so far beyond, but it just means there's more. There's more
Sure.
shit that you don't understand. There's more shit. Rather than no
Right.
more shit outside of the physical universe. There's either shit out there or there's no shit out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Like
then
there's a world outside of the world, a bigger world that
right?
we're in, encompass like an egg yolk, you know what I mean? Or there's
Yeah, like in Men in Black.
yeah, like in anybody's model of the universe. But I would say that there's two models of the universe, right? Two ideas. Like it's either like your Earth, stars, planets, Milky Way, other galaxies, the universe, right? And then parallel universes,
Right.
So forever, the shit that we know, right? Because even a
Right.
parallel universe would be like, okay, that's kind of shit we know, right? Maybe their hair is orange instead of blue, like, but it's
Yeah.
shit we know. It's shit you can fathom. It's of our nature, right? Clay, animated clay, in the clay, perceiving the clay, a world interacting with itself, right? That's what we
Yeah.
know. That's our shit. That's our shit. Like, is there something outside the shit? Or is there not something outside the shit, right? Like,
Yeah. Right.
there's only two models of the universe, is what I'm saying. Those two. There's either shit outside it or there's not. And I think it's really
True.
hard to understand. I mean, it's the catch-22 as well,
Yeah.
right? Because there's like no understanding it ever. There's no way. You can't,
No.
because what happens is if you put shit outside of it, if you say there is shit, right? There's shit outside of our world, right? There's another layer that we don't understand, that we exist in somehow, that made us maybe, or at least,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Encompasses us somehow. That would like also need to have the same question. Is there shit outside
Right.
of our shit or not?
Yeah. Exactly.
Which
Oh,
would
there is
create
shit
a-
outside of our shit, but what
Which
about
is
it?
the forever Russian
Yeah.
doll,
Yeah.
right? The Russian dolls. So, which means which means either there's always shit outside the shit, or there is a point where there is complete black darkness, nothingness. That means no space daddy for the space daddies, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you can't get around the no beginning, no end. Just no way. Which is
True.
means our existence is unexplainable completely. Because there can't be a beginning and can't be an end,
Yes.
It's like,
we believe in nothing.
yeah, exactly. That's me, bro.
I mean, yeah. that's I think that's a lot of people these days.
I do too.
Like honestly, like there's a lot more people.
There's gonna be a
open to
return-
that just being like, it's too abstract. Whatever your
It's too
existence
abstract.
is, it's
The
just way
existence is too abstract. That's a
Yeah.
good way to put it. It is. Because we can't explain anything.
Nah.
We fucking can't explain anything. Especially with all this freedom of speech.
Yeah. If only the right people were talking.
Yeah, then maybe we could understand.
Yeah. Then we could.
If it
get
was just God
We'd
and
be
his
like-
people talking, then we would
be
know
like, oh
who
well,
God
Kim Jong
is.
Un is God. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it.
Yeah.
Trump 2020.
Make liberals cry again.
Make liberals cry
Did you see
again.
that there was a boat parade on Lake Travis? a Trump boat parade?
No, that's amazing.
Apparently, I saw some videos. There's a ton of boats.
You gonna pull them up?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta
It's
see it.
really short videos.
Okay,
so.
but are we gonna please make street videos, street footage?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that, man. Yeah, on the street interviews, like I feel like
Because this is a
a
perfect
lot
idea.
of shows do that. Like a lot of people do that. A lot of shows do that. Like even Jay Leno did it, for God's sake. Like,
Well, here's my
there's
question.
a long history of that.
Here's my question to you.
All right, then let's hear it.
Can you make some money without going any of these like gold status motherfuckers? Can you be a bronze? Like, can you be no one knows about you? Like, my friends do not
gotcha.
know I have a YouTube channel and I make money because there's enough people watching. Can you get to there? Because I would love to make
Right.
30 grand a year doing
Yeah.
anything like this. Can
Yeah,
you do
exactly.
that? Do you know what I'm saying? Is that
Right.
plausible? Or is it like you're going to make a lot of fucking money because you make it, or you're not going to make it? Do you know what I'm saying? Is it sink or swim, or can you like kind of fucking make it?
Yeah, man.
I don't know enough about the world.
It's pretty tough.
Do you know?
I know as far as like YouTube goes.
Maybe we should learn more about the
You-
monetization of YouTube and how the ads,
Yeah, I know.
the ad work.
I know once you get to a certain level of subscribers, then you get partnered with YouTube, and
So
then you start getting the
YouTube partners
AdSense.
with you, and they start giving you ad revenue.
Yeah, yeah. Then you get AdSense.
So you have to have subscribers, not views. Subscribers are more important.
Yeah, those are good questions.
Yeah, we have to know all about that world if
Yeah.
we want to make any money. But I think that there's a way to make a living,
Oh yeah,
and not
there's
like
absolutely.
you're not gonna
not even the
you're
craziest
not
stuff
gonna
in the
kill
world.
it. Yeah. But I mean, you could eventually, maybe
Yeah.
if you stumble into something good. But I would think that there's a way to do like to make a little bit of money. Like, imagine if you full-timed it, okay, and you said, all day I'm gonna either be like recording podcasts or going out and finding content. Like all day, that's my job. So I'm gonna hit it hard. As much energy.
Yeah,
as I
you'd have to
can.
pound the pavement
Yeah,
for sure.
sounds like fun. You
Like
have to
the
have
big thing.
good content first.
Yeah, you do exactly. You have to build.
You're wasting your
have to
time if
build an
you're
audience.
doing all the right
Yeah.
things without good content that you believe. We need to take off. My phone's dead, but why don't we cut this short because no one wants to hear about our business.